Today we're going to make apple crisp. And first you need to peel your apples. You can use a vegetable peeler. Or you can use the knife. If you use the vegetable peeler, you probably will not waste as much apple. If you use a knife, try and stay and keep the peel very thin so that you don't waste too much of the apple. Now, if the apple has bruises, you can cut those out. Those aren't going to, that's a very small bruise. It's not going to hurt anything. Then slice down the middle. Cut it in quarters. Pop out the core part. It pops out very easily. And then chop the apples up into kind of smallish, bite-sized pieces. And then you just need to do this until you have, the current recipe I'm trying out calls for 3½ cups of apples. So I will cut and peel and chop until I have 3½ cups. So my camera assistant tried to help me peel apples and had a question. So what you do is I hold the knife towards me. No, it's not the best. And I pull the knife towards me while I push the apple away from me. So I'm making the apple go counterclockwise and I'm pulling the knife clockwise. And that method works very well for me. You can also do the same thing, and you can see I have a thin peel. It's not real thick. It's a very thin peel. You can also do this with your peeler. Same thing. I pull it toward me, push the apple away from me. Okay, now I already have 3½ cups of chopped apples in my pan. For the topping for the apples, I need a 1/3 cup of white sugar, granulated sugar, 1 tablespoon of flour, and a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. Okay, I'll just stir this together. And then pour this over the apples. Okay, then I put a little bit of water over, so we'll pause while I get the water. To make the topping, I need 2 tablespoons and 2 teaspoons of butter. So of course I'm going to use the lines so I don't have to put it into a measuring cup. And that's 2 tablespoons, 2 teaspoons. Each, as I know, there are 3 teaspoons in a tablespoon. So if I want 2 teaspoons, I cut it 2/3 of the way to get 2 teaspoons. And it needs to be melted. So I'll just put this in the microwave for a very small amount of time to melt it. Okay, now I have my melted butter, and I'm going to put in a 1/3 cup of oats. quick cookie notes. Then I need a 1/3 cup of flour. And I need a 1/3 cup of brown sugar. Let's pause it there while I clean off my measuring cup. Now I need a 1/3 cup of brown sugar. And pack that in. It's a little lumpy, so I need to try to fill that in. Okay, 1/3 cup of brown sugar and an 1/8 teaspoon of baking soda. And an 1/8 teaspoon of baking powder. Then I'll mix this up with a fork. I think we can pause while I mix this. So this mixture is called a crumble mixture, and I found that it's easier to use a whisk than a fork. And of course, also I would recommend using a larger bowl than just a cereal bowl. But you just kind of mash it all up, and it should be dry. It should be dry like this. It should be crumbly. It's like a granola in a way. Make sure I get it all mixed up. And then you will just spread this mixture evenly over your apples. And then you bake this in the oven at 350 degrees for about 45 minutes. When your apple crisp is done, it should be golden brown, and perhaps you can see that it's bubbling and kind of like a caramel.